Hey folks, Strudel Dog here. Just doing a follow-up video on the one I did prior on my Girardi dwarf mulberry. One thing I really couldn't show you back when I recorded that, I just checked, early part of May, is how long of a fruiting season this thing has. That prior video I think I posted, I just looked on 5/11. I had been eating some fruit off this tree probably the end of April. Here it is, middle of June, and it's still got a lot of fruit. Some of it's developing on the new wood growing. All that earlier was probably on old wood, but it really just shows you how this tree is. I've probably eaten 10 times more fruit off this tree than all my other larger trees combined. There are a few I may like. I'm sure some of the others are a little larger, although these aren't bad sized. But for productivity, it can't be beat. Just as in comparison, I think I've mentioned I have tried for a while. This is like my 4-year-old, my last true Morris nigra to bloom. You see the dead wood up above there. I have to keep it trimmed to come back from the rootstock. Last year it gave me hope because it grew pretty good. Drier season for us. This year it's just barely struggling to live again. It'll put on some growth, die off. It doesn't like our southeast climate. Even if you're in an area that can grow Morris nigra, I think Girardi is a good companion for it. Morris nigra doesn't fruit till later in the season. Girardi is, along with my gummies, probably my first fruit I'm eating along in the year. I grafted another. This is that's an ugly stump. That's an ugly graft. But that was my last attempt at Pakistan. I've had Pakistan die out on me on cold 3 times, but this is another little Girardi dwarf that was grafted last spring, so that's basically a year-old graft. You can see how much growth it's put on it. Yeah, it is somewhat slower growth, but I haven't experienced it quite as slow as other folks. Here's a Cusco number 20. I like the shape of this tree. It's a beautiful ornamental tree. It's done fruiting. Fruit's very sparse for me. It's also just plain sweet, no tartness to me. I much prefer a sweet tart mix. Here's a Shangri-La. I've had trouble with Shangri-La dying out on me. It's cold damage, and I've also had 2 killed by ambrosia beetle. It's kind of an ugly tree. Fruit's good. I think this is Illinois everbearing. It does have bigger fruits. They're very good, tasty. It fruits over a pretty long time. This and the next tree beside it are, well, they're propagated trees from Just Fruits. They had lost labels. I've sent Scion out to a few of them. I really like them, but I'll take my Girardi dwarf in a heartbeat over it, because these guys I really got to get serious on. I may pollard them next year, but really got to chop them down. Girardi, no problems there. This is Wixissa. It blooms very early. I think Just Fruits and Exotics is the only place it offers it. Sparse bearing compared to some of the others. Does fruit early, in fact too early. It gets hit by the cold for me sometimes. I'll give it a little bit longer. I'm going to hack it down to out in the mulberry row. Hope you have a good day. I think I'll go back and eat some Girardi dwarf. Oh, by the way, you do have something die, fruit out, persimmon, whatever, mulberry, don't don't be so quick to just yank out the plant. You've got an established rootstock there, and I've seen what Girardi, they say how slow it's supposed to be growing. I had a good established rootstock there. I'm sure it's Morris alba. Um, that's a pretty good sized tree. That's probably 4 foot tall. Let me see. Well, chest high to me on the highest point, and that's in 1 year, and it actually even fruited the first year. Um, Take advantage of that foundation you already got with a good rootstock. Don't yank out the old plant. Strudel dog out.